Good luck.
All right, hello gamers, what's going on? Thank you guys being so patient. We got the wonderful Estelle Ellis with us here. Estelle, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. I'm really good.
That's
Thank you. How are
yeah.
you?
I'm doing really good. Again, we can't thank you enough for you coming on and just taking your time to just talk not only about what you've been doing but also the work you've been putting in to Event Horizon. It's just awesome to finally have a conversation with you. So,
Thanks. It's lovely to be here.
yeah.
Hi, everybody. Lots
There's
of hellos.
But Estelle, I guess the first question I actually had for you was like, how did you get involved with this project? Like, did you find it? Did Chasen reach out to you?
So, what? Jason actually found me, but I think he'll be able to tell you in more detail. I think he's in
Hmm.
the chat, isn't he? Bless him.
Yeah.
Um. So basically, when I sort of came back in to the voice acting arena with Krystal, I started working with Gagnatar, and that was really all under the radar. Excuse me. And the plan had basically been that, yeah, we'll do this Half-Life 2, and then that it'll basically make a big impact, which it kind of did, and then it'll kind of make me more relevant and put me back into the arena. And I think when that happened, at some point, I don't, Jason will be able to tell you, but Jason
Hmm.
actually reached out to me. But it turns out I think he'd been trying to get a hold of me for ages. I
Oh,
think.
really?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jason. I think you're in the chat. And he kind of reached out to me. And as ever, I didn't quite realize how big the fandom was. And it was only until people, kind of, yeah, he said, yeah, I tried
Tried
for
to
a
get the
decade.
decade.
There you go, decade to try and reach out and to find me. And I think Gagnatar put us in touch, and then Chasen just reached out to me, and kind of, as they say, the rest is history.
Okay. Now, I do know that you've done other voice acting roles, I believe, through Rare primarily, aside from Crystal. I know you did, I think it was the Queen Earthwalker. There was another character,
I
and then
did.
there was, I
I
think,
did.
yeah, it was like
I
perfect.
did. Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, I think you did, what was it, Perfect Dark Zero, I think it was, too?
So what happened with
Yeah.
that was I initially did all the voice acting for that, and I did all of the motion capture
Mhm.
for all of the stuff that was out of game, the renders. And when Microsoft kind of fully waded in, they basically decided that they wanted they wanted some bigger voice actors or bigger
Mhm.
actors to do Joanna's voice. So they kind of scrapped me. That I still have some. There's still some voice work in there that I'd completely forgotten about, and I think it's just I can't remember what it was. Somebody actually sent me a clip, and it actually said it was me, and I kept listening to it, and I was like, "Is that me? Is that me?" But it was me, because afterwards, I know, but it was almost like, the emergency call outs when they say, "Oh, warning, warning,"
Mhm.
leave the building. And I did a few of those that they kept in, but all of the stuff for Joanna never got used, basically, because someone
Right.
else decided to do it.
Yeah, that's
Um, I did I did Amber in Grabbed by the Ghoulies. That was another that was voice acting, but there was not so much, there weren't lines. They were all like kind of grunting and humming, and the whole point of that game was that there was just no dialect, and it was all based on expression,
mm.
and communicating that way. So that was quite a weird and wonderful thing to be part of. Also a very good game that probably didn't get the credit it deserved.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so those are the characters and the things that I took part in at Rare.
Okay,
Mother Thorntail was another
yeah,
one.
that's
That
what it
was
was.
it.
I was like, Mother something, and I was like,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
someone on my stream was like making a joke. It was like, oh, your mom was saying, because that's of course the little shtick I got going, but that's a whole nother thing. But
Yeah, yeah, I know.
it's okay. But I guess the one thing I did want to ask was with Crystal herself, right? Obviously, you were part of like the localization, not I believe also with France as well, the French localization, because you do speak French. Is that correct?
So what happened? Yes, I'm bilingual. I'm fluent. My mum is French, fully
Mm-hmm.
French, and I'm really fortunate enough to speak fluent French as well. And when I kind of came on board, what they decided to do is kind of use my skill set to. I mean, looking back, I think the Stampers were a lovely, lovely bunch of people, and they, excuse me, and also from speaking to sort of Dave Wise and his experience with them, they were big into, you know, like, I don't want to say capitalize because I hate that word, but you know, they were really big into sort of, you know, supporting and really bringing out the best in people's skills and the talent that they had. And honestly, I think they just wanted me to do the voice acting for the games because I'd got the drama. I think you know, I was quite adaptable. I could do several voices. It was very useful for them. And I think when it came to the localization, because I'd just come out of university and I'd done a master's in translation, I think they were like, okay, well, we'll just get her to do a bit of translation as well, you know, in the guise of, you know, yes, you're coming to work here, but I worked with the Nintendo of Europe team and helped with trying to get the Nintendo Game Boy titles that the guys were working on, excuse me, translated, because a lot of the Game Boy titles had got a lot of descriptions and commands and things like that you know, predominantly Saberwolf, I think it was, and I think there was another one where you had to be able to have the text. And so I translated all of that into French, and I think my translation is actually in the games. I must have a version somewhere. I think I found a load of stuff in the old archives in the garage somewhere. Yeah, so basically I would work with the Nintendo of Europe, and then if they had any queries, it would come through me, and then I would go and find the teams, and then I would say, okay, well, there's a challenge here with this German text file, and you know, this Italian or this Spanish one needs this, and you know, so it was the whole thing was a lovely experience because I'd just come out of university doing just that, and then obviously the cherry on top of the cake was obviously being part of the development by doing the voice work, which at the time I thought was quite an irrelevant role. But now looking back, I think, yeah, I was really blessed. And I think they were lucky to have me.
Yeah, I would hope. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think for me, one of the big things that I've always looked at was, and I like asking this for people that got into voice acting or when they knew they were going to voice act a character. Did you have any
Yes.
idea what Krystal was like? Like when they were doing the voice acting or when you were doing the auditioning, did they kind of give you an idea of who Krystal was? Like, how was that process?
Not really. So basically, what happened was, because I knew the Stampers beforehand, they were lovely. And when I'd finished my master's, I said, "Oh, guys, have you potentially got some work for me?" Because even back in those days, people knew about the mythical place that was rare, that was tucked away, that was just doing all these extraordinary things that you wouldn't imagine in a sleepy village like Twycross. And I just said, look, you know, is there an opportunity? That would be an amazing dream, you know. And part of my interview, like a formal interview, was, and I found it rather odd at the time, but they basically got me to come in and said, right, your interview, excuse me, is actually, here are some lines. Go in there and go and do the acting, which turns out it was Krystal. Now they did not give me hardly any context at all, because obviously I hadn't signed an NDA. I wasn't working for them. They were taking a punt on me to see what happened, as far as I can remember. But I genuinely remember thinking, oh shit, you know, this is going to be interesting. But as it happens, that was my job interview. I went in there and I think I did the lines. I walked straight into this incredible recording studio, which even now, if you walked in, it was like, oh my God, it's like a music recording studio, you know, with the separate room, where the padded room, you know, where no one can hear your screams, where it's just really, really quiet, you know, that really dead quiet. And you went in there, and across the screen, you know, they pressed the button, they could talk to me, and, you know, go on, do your thing, we'll record it. And I remember seeing, I think it was Jamie Cullum and Steve Brand were the ones that were part of that interview. And yeah, and that was my job interview. That was it. So I wasn't given any information about Krystal or anything like that. And it was only until I got given the formal job offer that when I went in, that's when it kind of started, where they were, I think they kind of gave me a bit of a backstory. Obviously, bearing in mind I had to sign NDAs and all of that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. We know.
I don't want to
I
get
mean,
you
that's
in
why.
trouble, but like,
Yeah, I mean, at that time it was heavily Nintendo owned, right?
yeah.
So there was no stone left unturned. So and it was only then that they started to tell me more about it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I kind of that was it really. And we had a lot of fun. And I've said this to a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people before, and I firmly believe this, and I'll say this to everybody who's listening tonight. Do you guys all remember maybe your grandmother or your mum or someone that loved you would make you a sandwich or make you a drink or a
Yeah.
cake or something? When people do something like that, they make it with love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it always tastes better, and anything with a real with passion and love and all of that stuff. And I genuinely believe that those times that we had at Rare was no different to baking a cake with love, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we were all in there. We'd spend like hours in there laughing. And I remember thinking, oh God, I'm going to get told off because I'm not at my desk, because I'm not photocopying something. And I think looking back now, it was like, no, they would have me in there for hours on end if it meant that the magic was being created and all of this stuff was coming out right. And that's what we did. And I think, and a lot of, I cannot remember a time when I ever went into that recording studio where it wasn't fun, where we didn't laugh, where we didn't, it was just beautiful. And I think that was all part of the Rare magic as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
firmly believe that every single person that worked back in those early days, the Dave Wives, the Kevin Bailiffs, Robin Beelans, all of those guys, genuinely loved doing what they did
Mm-hmm.
and poured that love and passion into the games that actually, um, yeah, you could feel it. You
Right.
could you could feel it. You could feel it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's my story.
No, no, but that's really fascinating because it's like I've always heard like when people do voice work, they'd be like, "Oh, they would tell you a description, or they'll tell you who the character is." Like it would usually depend, obviously. But the thing that I also wanted to ask was even in with the talking about like love and care and stuff like I've always loved that about Rare is just like all the games have this like unique charm to it, and it's like seeing how you've like I mean what Krystal debuted in 2002 like
I
I'm
know.
like had the like I was like oh my god like I mean I was just a wee baby then but
I know.
I'm so sorry
I
I don't
wasn't.
but I guess one thing that I've always wanted to ask you is just this character debuting in 2002 and just like her just being such an icon right in video games and did you of course you're not gonna expect I don't think anybody's expecting that, but, like, how do you, like, keep like, you're just so passionate, you're so positive about this character, like, some people would be like, "Oh my god," like, it's the same some people, like, lose passion for that, and I've seen that happen, but, like, how do you keep that going? Like, is it just something you really love? Like, I'm really curious to know your side of things on that.
Okay, so altogether, I think it's just gratitude.
Mhm,
I owe her an awful lot in terms of um I was very, very fortunate to be involved. I'm also very much, I mean, for those of you that don't know me, I don't know whether there's any that, that sounds a bit big headed, doesn't it? Well, of course there are some. But a lot of people will know that there's a lot of synergies in Krystal and me. And I looked at the inside booklet, that the pamphlet that you find in the game, and the way they describe Krystal, it was so funny because I know back then I was quite spiritual and I was quite into all of the stuff that I'm into now,
mhm,
but it was so lovely that she's always been very similar, had similar traits to me,
mhm,
very similar traits. So it's almost like she is, she is her and she is her and her, she is, that it's kind of there was so much that so many similarities, if that makes sense.
right,
And from there on in, since coming back into the community and realizing that she had such a huge following, or I think it was silly of me to just think, oh right, I'm leaving Rare, right, I'm going to go and pursue the next thing in Estelle Ellis's life, and didn't actually realize the impact that these franchises and these games and these characters had on the children like yourself that were playing it.
mhm,
And I think coming back into that now and realizing that I was fortunate enough to be part of creating a character that meant so much in an emotional way to
Mhm.
so many children and so many young kids out there, that coming back in now, it's almost like, God, I'm really humbled by it, because I'm grateful to have been part of it. All of it is gratitude, but also being humbled, and also, very fortunate that that particular character allowed me to sort of, help facilitate certain children's journeys,
Mhm.
hold their hands through. A lot of people have reached out and said, that they were going through some difficult times in their childhood, and that Krystal was that, that warm hug, so to speak. And that really makes me emotional, because I'm like, oh my God, that, if I hadn't have worked on Krystal, that conversation would be happening perhaps with somebody else, or might not be at all. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So for me, it was just like, God, there's how can I not have my own emotional attachment to her,
Right.
based around all of the goodness and the love that people have for her. There are a lot of people, it's all subjective, I agree, but
Mhm.
but by not continuing to respect that and to love how people feel about her, I think that would be paying everybody a disservice as well, and certainly invalidating a lot of people's feelings. And anyone who knows me, that I'm not here for that. you know I think it's just a lovely thing. And
Yeah.
I think now, because kind of your generation, slightly younger and slightly older, you guys grew up with sort of that gaming, and you've created these wonderful pockets of community all over the
Yeah.
world. I think this is, quite an extraordinary generation. Um, really big into gaming, and neither are his friends, which again is fine. People change, don't they? And generations sort of evolve and decide to go and do other things.
Yeah.
But this particular generation of guys that are all online and creating this magic and connecting, people from all over the world
Mhm.
in their love for, all of this stuff. And you guys, I'm just watching you play now. I'm just like, it blows my mind. Like,
Yeah.
you're all so skilled when I can't even switch a computer. I can't switch a computer on, right? And I'm just watching you, just like, okay, mental.
It's
So, yeah, I think just I have lots of love for Krystal, because she's brought me a lot, and she's brought other people so much as well.
yeah. I
Um,
Don't worry,
yeah.
Estelle. I'll tell you to turn on the Yeah, I gotta pause. Like, and that like it's making me emotional because like I Star Fox Adventures is my introduction to the Star Fox franchise, and obviously everybody in chat and my community understands how I can only speak for myself here. I know everyone else loves Star Fox, loves Krystal and stuff like that. Had such a profane impact on me and like brought me so much joy. Obviously, with the persona that I have online, just how much love you put into the character has definitely impacted myself and plenty of others that do cosplays, whether that be at the furry conventions. I know you went to ScotiaCon and that was awesome, and you had the
Yeah, it
panel.
was. Yeah.
Um, so I say this wholeheartedly. Like I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done. Because I think that it just shows how much of an impact. And I know this sound like to some people might sound cringe, but like some have people that's like, why is your persona this? Like, why is he basically like Marcus McCloud just diet or whatever? And it's just because like I think it's because Star Fox always brought that joy of like this is like I wish I had this kind of unit, but also like, Krystal reminded myself of my own mother, and how very
Oh,
very strong-willed woman, she raised me by herself, I don't want to get into my dad's conversation. I'm not trying to go down that route. I'm not trying to make you all cry, but
okay.
it's just like but it's just like
We're here for the mums. We're
we're
here for the single
moms,
mums.
yeah,
Yeah. No.
exactly. But it's just my point being is she's had such a profane impact in how I portray myself and how energetic. And I think the fact you've done it for so long just shows like you just have such an insane impact. Like, and I can't believe like, and you're just so dedicated, and we can't thank you enough. And like with what you've done with Event Horizon and just seeing Krystal brought to her full potential, in my opinion. But
Well, I
yeah,
haven't. I'm not the one that's done all the work.
but that's but
Don't realise it.
no,
Okay.
I know
I'm
that
the cherry on top of the
you're the
cake.
right.
Yeah.
But I
But
was gonna
yeah.
get to that. Listen, I'm not trying to take anything away from what Chasen has done because he has done a fucking phenomenal job. Excuse my
He's
French.
a machine.
Yes.
A machine.
But the one thing I will say is that again, you just bring that charm to her that I don't think it can be replicated. I know I wish you were in Assault because but I'm just like, no, hashtag no my crit. No, I'm just kidding. But like, no shots to Miss Glidewell. But I just think that again, we can't thank you enough. Now, I did actually want to ask you this because I know that Chasen does all of the hard work. I'm actually wondering,
He does.
so when you're doing voice lines for said project, is it like he sends you like a script? Like what's your like workflow when it comes to that? Like, I'm not saying like how much you do it, but like what's the process for doing voice lines for those that might not know?
Okay, so Jason will pretty much beg me for about weeks, and no, honestly, he doesn't beg, but he will ask me and he'll message me and basically say, look, are you okay to do a few lines or whatever? So he will send me the PDF, and he will very kindly color code everybody's lines per character in the script. So he will send the entire script so that you've got context and you can see who's
Mm-hmm.
talking and what's going on. And then I literally get on BandLab and I record as and when whatever it is that he needs, and then
Mm-hmm.
I just literally just send him the raw files, and that's pretty much it.
Wow. That's actually okay. That's a lot simpler. I thought it was like that simple, honestly. Like I know I delve in like not voice that hell no. Like I mean I could, but I've helped people in college with some of their film work, but that's as much as I got into it.
Oh, you've got a very lovely clear voice, so you
Oh,
should try it.
I appreciate that. Oh my god, you don't know how many people are like Austin. You need to do this, and I'm like, no. Like, but then again, I struggle with anxiety, like a you know what. But and I think that's also like you being so positive, And I think that's why I love my community and why they're so like they love your work is just so positive, and I think that's what we try to do here.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, no, thank you. Honestly, again, we can't thank you enough for what you've done, but. I was gonna also say, like, it's just awesome seeing you involved in such a project. Yeah, we've always joked, like, oh, I can't wait to see Estelle get her lines in. I know you're very busy, so I don't want to discount anything that you do, what's going on in your life. But, again, I just think now, actually, someone wanted me to ask you this: Are you still in touch with people on the Rare team, like Steve Malpass and company, or no? Or is like, has that?
Yes.
Mhm,
So, funnily enough, I've got a stream with Steve Malpass a week today, I
mhm,
think, with somebody who reached out to me. Plan is to do a stream with Steve.
mhm.
I don't speak to him very often. I speak to Kev Bayliss. I'm also quite close to Dave Wise. He doesn't live too far from me. We went
Okay.
to watch the Mario movie together
Oh.
to see the intro of Star Fox. So I still very much speak to him. Also a little bit in touch with Paul Makachek. Um, so so yeah, there's a few there's a few others who live locally. Louise O'Connor, who used to be Louise Ridgway. I've been in touch with her for a bit because she used to be the head of staff at Microsoft Xbox. I'm trying to meet her at some point for coffee, but she's I don't know. I know she's left Xbox now, but yeah. So I'm still very much in touch with people. I can reach out, and Grant Kirkhope, he's another one that I will randomly WhatsApp probably more often than I should. I'm being a right pain. Grant, can you help me? Can you repost this for me and use your clout? Because I haven't got as many followers as you. So he's lovely because he will always Grant. I mean, they all are. Don't get me wrong, they all are. But Grant will always be there and sort of give me advice. And another one, Lee Hutchinson. Um, if you guys do your little bit of digging and homework, he's the founder of Double 11,
Mhm.
the publisher and developing house, and he is an absolute superstar.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's helped me a lot as well. So I have to say that, and this again, stands to reason that I have never come across anybody during my time at Rare who was so lovely. Like not one person was nasty or someone that you think, oh God, I don't like them. You know.
Yeah.
Well, apart from actually no, that's a lie. There was a guy who was in R&D, and
Yeah.
Lee, who I've just spoken about. Oh God, this is a terrible story.
Oh no.
This is awful. This is an awful story, right? So Lee, who's obviously the founder of Double 11, when we first started within only a few weeks of each other, and he's, I think, we're the same age, or very much. Anyway, so back then we were 20, 21, 22 babies, and Lee was R&D. He was a programmer, very skilled, obviously, because now hugely successful. So he shares these in the barns. You had these small offices either side of the barn, right, with sliding doors. And then there'd be a corridor in the middle. So you'd open the barn door, and as you'd go in, you'd have an office on the left, an office on the right, keep going, an office on the left, an office on the right. And you had about about 8 or 10 of these offices as you went down the barn. He was in one of the barns. I remember it was on the left with these sliding doors, right? So you could either have your doors open or you'd slide them closed. So he shared one of these offices with a guy called Andy Innes. And Andy Innes was Scottish, very quiet and very quite particular. And he always wanted these doors shut. And Lee was always, oh, okay, yeah, have them shut. Anyway, bear in mind, this was 20 odd years ago, right? Back in 2002 or 3. Transpires that probably, you could Google this, about 6 years ago, he got sent down and is doing life for murdering his Philippine wife
What
and
the
their
hell?
daughter. I know, like a full-on psycho. So yeah,
God.
so that's, and do you know what? And every time I see Lee, that is the first story he tells everybody, and that is one of the first stories that we talk about. I cannot believe that I shared an office with a murderer.
That is
Yes.
fucking bonkers. Everyone chat's like, what the fuck? Like,
what the fuck? Yeah, okay, we went dark. I know, really, really dark. We couldn't believe it. So, okay, apart from this guy, right, everybody else was really nice. Yeah, just absolutely. Yeah, so
oh
somebody
my
who
God.
worked on the Rare titles went off and lost the fucking plot. Mental, really. Anyway, so when I talked to Lee, Lee's like, oh my God, you know, I swerved a bullet. I was like, yes, you did. You could have ended up under his patio as well.
Oh God,
So,
no.
yeah, really bad. So yeah, so apart from him, everybody else was just lovely and amazing, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that was that story. On that note, guys.
Yeah, like, all right, you know, like being all emotional. Well, let's talk about someone like killing people. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
But
Cheery,
I
cheery stories.
I will say I got maybe like 2 more questions personally, but if y'all have any questions for Estelle, you're more than happy to ask as long as they're appropriate. Don't be a bunch of dinguses, okay? I really don't want to get in trouble on Twitch.
I'll call you all out, guys. I will
Guys,
do that
don't get in trouble. Trust me, I don't want to get in bad faith with my mother. Okay, I'm just joking. Off for it. Yeah, trust me. They all give me shit about it. It's so funny. Like I think that's the thing though, is like you continue to make things entertaining, right? Or keep things positive, right? So we all have a different flair on things. We all do different things to make things Star Fox relevant still. Right, I've learned my lesson. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I lost you. You cut out then for a second.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
I
It
just
just went all like roboty.
oh, it's all good. Someone just said like they joke with me like, oh, I learned my lesson, like making fun of me, I guess. But so everyone's gonna give me shit probably. But I guess the other thing too is just like you know, aside from Krystal, and you know, we still want to see you continue to voice her in Event Horizon, and we know you just love Krystal and how much she means to you, how much she means to us. Is there anything like else that you're doing? I saw that you got a gig with an indie developer for a new character, and I know that Chasen's working on a Norian, I think, or Norin. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, Norin.
Okay, can you tell me a bit about that? Like,
so Chasen will be able to. Chasen, tell us in the chat basically. What is she? Because she's obviously amphibian. So she's anthropomorphic, but not in a necessarily. Well, has she got fur? We decided that she was going to have fur, didn't we? I think we did. But Jason will be able to tell you more about her. But
She's a
she's a
ripoff of
bit.
Krystal. That doesn't really help with the description, but
Is that what he said? I couldn't see.
yeah, she has fur. Okay, I'm just fucking around, but like
She has fur, but she's a bit more of a rough diamond.
Gotcha.
More of a rough diamond. She's a bit more, bit more piratey, shall I
Okay.
say? And she's feisty, but she's more less regal, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Krystal kind of has a bit of a background,
Right.
and Norrin's a bit rougher, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I get the vibe. No,
If you get that.
I think I understand. You are a pirate. No, that's really good. But I'll have to ask Chasen more about that actually, because he probably has more of a direction. Like, not to be like that. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but because I always am like very curious about things. But I thought I saw you post something. I don't know how long ago it was. It was like some commander or something like that. Am I wrong?
Oh, right. So I've got involved with Drone Commander.
That's what it was. Drone Commander.
Yes. So I'm voicing Camelia, who is she has a French accent.
Oh,
We
okay.
decided to do something a little bit different with her because there's different sort of accents there.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I've started to get involved with that, which which is exciting because again, it's loads of new sort of furry characters, yeah, I mean, my involvement is quite new,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I've done a few lines for him. I'm waiting for potentially some more, yeah. So that's another one on the agenda, which is
Okay.
quite exciting. So I don't know if anyone's interested in having a look at that at all.
Yeah, that was the talk of the town of mine. They're like, "Oh, look, Estelle got another gig." I'm like, "Oh, yay! Hell
Yeah,
yeah!"
it's nice. All
Yes.
these furry characters. I think it's lovely because there aren't that many games where the anthro is quite dominant. So I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting that something like this is going to that sort of genre is going to evolve and develop, hopefully, because it's very popular. I know that people like to see those sort of characters, and the furry community is indeed evolving, as we know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so that's my involvement at the moment. Yes.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say like I trust me. I've seen so many people try to do the Krystal fursuits. I've been stopped at conventions. Like, oh, it was funny. I don't think I've told you this. I know I've told others this story. When I was at a convention, I was in an elevator. Someone looked at me in my suit and said, "Oh, look, you're Krystal." I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's quite right, actually. Like, because I'm a male fox that looks more like fox, but blue. I know some people
Yes.
were asking questions. So I gotta ask this because everyone's at, and even Chasen wants to know. Someone asked, what was it like recording the karaoke session for?
Oh my
for
God.
So what was that like?
Honestly, but you know what? I think I've got PTSD every time I hear that song, because I have to turn it down every time I see it because it keeps going around in my head. You know, one of those songs that I know a song like get on your nerves, get on your nerves, get on your nerves. That is exactly how I feel about that song. And it was really hard. I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, he did wait quite a while for me to get it done, and I was definitely procrastinating with that. 1,000,000%.
Oh yeah, you're like, I don't want to do this shit. That was the
Yeah,
point
I
of the
was
song.
like,
Yeah, Chasen's
oh
torturing her. I'm
God.
just kidding. It's just,
Yeah,
God
but I'm
damn it.
glad I did it because it came out okay. I mean, it sounded shit, but it's karaoke, right? So it's not
Well,
meant to be.
Well, I was
Um,
giving Kyle honestly, when I listened to it before you came on, I was giving Kyle more shit, honestly, because I was like, at least Estelle sounds I'm just fucking around, Kyle, if you listen to this. But I was just I was like, God damn, Kyle. Like that was the first word that came. Oh, you know, she sounds fine. But no, I cannot do karaoke for shit. So I would be like, nah, I'll be good. But everyone was curious about I gotta sing as Krystal, so always
Honestly,
like
it
girl.
was interesting because obviously it needed to sound a little bit like karaoke, didn't it? It
Yeah.
couldn't. Well, you wouldn't get a decent song out of me without auto tuner anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that was fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Wink, wink. Like it was fun, but
yeah, it was
um,
fun.
now I guess I saw a very interesting question. I don't know who asked it. Someone asked it. Hold on, let me find that question. I gotta pause and find the question. As a someone I was thinking someone about like Crystal's trait. Where was it? Like it was like if
Oh yeah, what do you think Estelle's trait? Crystal's. Oh God, I'm getting more mixed up now. Um, what are Crystal's most important traits?
when you're writing them. Yeah.
What are Crystal's most important traits? I think she has many, and I think well, it's all subjective, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I I think her. I think as a character, like the way she's evolved and the way that I'm liking her to evolve is the empowerment. You know, the fearlessness. I
Mm-hmm.
think is probably a lovely trait for her
Yeah.
to have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a little bit playful as well. I think.
Yeah, I
You
could
can't,
definitely see
you
that.
can't be serious all the time, can
No,
you?
I feel that. I also think like I don't know. I've always felt this headcanon because, of course, for my character, but even just fuck my character for a second, more specifically with I've always looked at her as also like an emotional, not just for Fox, but like for others, right? Like being a telepath.
Yes.
I think that's another
Yes.
thing I really liked about her and why, like, I think she's so. I love her as a character is like that's why like I feel like she balances Fox's I don't want to say reckless because I know he's a great leader.
Skittiness.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So
Mm.
like if you know if they may if Mark like if Marcus is in Event Horizon or if he was which we know Command is not canon, but that's besides the point. Um, I guess like seeing like it, you know, like oh if I have to go to my mom for example for like you know how like I do the same thing with my mom. Like if I have to go for
Yeah,
advice when
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
stressed
yeah.
out, I would see Crystal doing the same thing. So um
Yes.
let's see. And you're by the way, if you see questions, you're more than happy to answer them. I'm just keeping an eye out on ones that maybe we
Okay.
haven't answered. Yeah, so I don't want to like, oh, hold up, like.
That's okay.
Let me see here as I'm seeing many people ask questions, which I love you guys giving me questions, so we're not like, oh my god, we got nothing to go off of. I believe someone asked if there was one trait that you can add to Crystal, was it? Where the fuck is it? You guys ask so many great questions. I was gonna ask the craziest thing of what happened to you where it wasn't. I think you just answered it.
Yeah,
I saw
yes,
that.
that, yeah.
Um. Oh.
Can I just correct someone? Estelle, what
Yeah.
do you
Go
think of
for it.
tea? Okay, it's not tea, I have to clarify. It's in coffee. It's
Oh,
in
the
coffee, and
butter.
it's actually it's called a bulletproof coffee, and it's supposed to be very, very good for you.
Uh huh.
So you use obviously very good coffee, not your
Hmm.
Starbucks or any of that shit.
I don't even drink
You use
coffee, so.
good coffee. Okay, good coffee and a dollop of butter, and you whiz it in a Ninja whizzer,
Hmm.
and so it's supposed to be very, very good for you. And obviously, the fat in the butter and the good coffee. So yeah, and it actually coming back to sort of the emotional attachment to things. My grandmother always used to have milky coffee for
Okay.
breakfast, and she used to dip her French bread with butter, salted butter on it, and drink the coffee afterwards. And as a child, I would sometimes do the same and have the same as her.
Uh
So
huh.
that taste of the butter coffee really reminds me of my grandmother, which is why I really like drinking it because there's the emotional attachment. Because when I drink it, I'm back at that table with my grandmother.
Oh, okay. No,
So,
that's fair.
which is very similar to the emotional attachment that you guys feel when you start playing Star Fox or when you
Right.
potentially hear my voice.
Uh huh.
That it kind of almost takes you back to a time in your life that was enjoyable and
Right.
lovely
Yeah,
and
yeah.
safe.
Yeah, because I remember when I was at my grandmother's house, I would play Star Fox a ton, well, really, because that was the only games I really had. Not like, I mean, not that I'm complaining, but
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, and that's good. You were grateful for those, and that was lovely.
Now, I think someone asked, I think I know your opinion already, because I mean, I have to ask because I am a part of the fandom. Gemini asked, "What's your overall opinion on the furry fandom?" Someone said.
Okay, do you know what? I didn't really know much about them, and obviously, and we know that people talk shit and people say stuff, and just like with any
Mhm.
kind of community and any kind of sort of niche community. And it was only until I'd gone to ScotiaCon in January where I spent 2 nights up in Glasgow, and I genuinely spent 2 very lovely and magical days. I went on my own. I flew out on my own. I got there, spent some time, made a couple of really beautiful friends up there that I'm still messaging now,
Mhm.
who are so lovely, who also obviously, enjoy the furry community. And it was only until I was there that I kind of realized how playful it all is and
Mhm.
how colorful and how extraordinary every single piece of furry attire,
Mhm.
whether it's just even a small tail or whether it's just the ears, just anything like that. It was just really quite magical. And the people there, when I got there, I think I got there quite late on a Friday night. I think I arrived at the hotel at 10 o'clock.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be honest, any other community and any other event that I've attended, is I'd have turned up in the foyer of a hotel that had been taken over by a particular group or community or whatever.
Mhm.
I arrived at 10:30 and it was all very playful. It was all very civilized. People enjoying themselves. There was no drunks. There was no fighting, rowing, animosity. None of that. It was really quite wholesome. And then I proceeded to spend the next couple of days, mingling, chatting, meeting people stopping me. It was all just, it was genuinely, I felt really blessed and I felt really humbled, very, very
Mhm.
fortunate to have been obviously invited, because I wouldn't probably have just gone on my own anyway,
Mhm.
but it was just, yeah, it was just so lovely. It felt so lovely.
Yeah.
And the most important thing for me is, anybody that knows me, is just I love my sleep. At the minute, I'm not getting a lot of it, but I love my sleep. And when I stayed there on the Friday and Saturday night, I was in a separate hotel where still there was lots of sort of fairies in there, because they'd
Mhm.
posted like images of their attire on the front of their doors and their names and all of that. And I thought it was so lovely. But you know what? I had the best sleep. I felt so safe.
Mhm.
I genuinely felt so safe. And I know that boils down to energy,
Right.
the energy that was around, the energy within those places, those rooms that I walked in. That energy was just, I felt so safe. My nervous system was just like, yep, okay, girl, you can sleep here. And that's one of, because obviously, and obviously the more people get to know me, and the more kind of what I'd like people to be aware of is that energetic vibration. When someone's like, oh, don't like them, or they feel a bit
Right.
weird, or when you walk into a room, that, oh God, I don't like how this room feels moody, this room feels uncomfortable, or and that was a huge thing for me. The vibration of the actual convention where I was lovely. It was just really quite beautiful.
Mhm.
So, in answer to that question, very long-winded answer, it was
Mhm.
just literally that the fandom to me now. Obviously, I'm going to hopefully going to the States. Um, I'm really excited, and yeah, it's just lovely, really lovely, playful, excited, childlike, but in a lovely way, because
Yeah,
as humans, we all need to still have fun.
I
You
agree.
can't be serious all the time, and like the life experience is about being childlike and playful, and as adults, we've been conditioned that actually, oh no, you need to be serious. You need to be, well, no, fuck that. Let's go and play. All that stuff we
Mhm.
kind of lose, and I think that the beauty of that is kept within the furry community, which I think is just like, yes. hold on to that. You know, I think
Yeah.
it's important. It's good for the soul, isn't it?
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's my take on the community.
No, and that's great, and that's the thing too, that I always get the vibe that it brings us to, like, a happy place, and, again, I
Yes.
agree, man, we work so many hours, we only live on this planet for who knows how long, I think it's only fair we can have a
Yes.
little bit of fun, I mean, come
I
on.
think I think it should all be about fun, and I think
Absolutely.
genuinely, the whole we work hard, that's fine, but we should have fun doing whatever it is that we should do, um,
Mhm.
and yeah, and do what lights us up,
Yeah.
definitely. And if someone tells you not to, then that's your sign to actually do it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of fun, people have asked, what was I don't think you're gonna like this.
Oh
Wh
God, I don't like the
Speaking
sound of it
so
already.
so when you were when you were doing the voice lines for Krystal, because I have been peer pressured into doing this, speaking Dino in the
Yes.
language that it is, I think I've heard you do an interview before where you're like, "Oh my god, this is, like, horrible." Like, how I can't even fathom, like, speaking a language that's, like, made up but somewhat makes sense. I don't even know how the hell it makes sense. But, like, what what was that like at all? And are you glad that Chasen hasn't made you speak Dino at all?
Well, you know what? That's really interesting because this week I've actually done a commission for someone which was pretty much like Dino language.
Mhm.
And interestingly, it all came back, which is so
Really?
weird.
That's
Yeah, well, it's not weird because I get it, but yeah, it all came back. So originally at the time, it was trying to find, because obviously when you're doing lines in a foreign language, you've got to keep the intonation right, haven't you? If it's a
right.
question, it needs to go up at the end, right? Regardless of what you're saying. So it was initially it was very difficult because it wasn't just a case of reeling off these lines. It had to sound like you were saying stuff, like, oh, my staff. It had to be, oh, Mushkov or whatever it was. It had to sound like that. And originally it was very difficult because one, we needed to figure out something that sounded good, and two, something that I could sustain and would be consistent. So I mean, we had some fun over it. It got a lot easier because obviously, as I said, only a few days ago, I got 3 or 4 lines where I had to do sort of some dino language, and it came back relatively easy.
Mhm.
So I did all of the hard work back in the day. But yeah, I would have probably not preferred not to. But but here, but here we are. I did it, and it stuck.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
yes. God, I'm just watching the gameplay here, and anybody that knows me knows that Avatar is one of my favorite movies, right? And the
Oh, it's
colors
really
in this
good.
game is just unbelievable. Like just a feast for the eyes.
Mhm.
Just watching it, it's just incredible.
Yeah,
You know,
mhm.
I'm fascinated at how you can actually play this game and talk, ask questions, read
Um,
comments, and still hold it down.
my mother asks me the same thing whenever I do anything. With computers, she's like, "How the fuck do you even?" And she'll even say this. She'll be like, "How the
How?
fuck do you do?" In a good way, like she knows I'm really. So,
Yeah,
but
how do you do that?
um,
It's actually making me feel sick looking at it
I'm
though, to be
sorry.
fair. Like,
I don't want to
no,
get you
it's
my.
when it's all right. It's like first person shooters, and it's like, oh my God,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look away. I'm gonna look at the questions because that you're doing barrel rolls and I'm going to be
yeah,
sick.
I know. I'm like,
So,
damn it. I'm like, yeah, I can only imagine how Crystal feels because like Kite's like making her and Fox motion sick. But
yes, just like, oh my God, like she's going to be sick down Fox's neck.
yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say, but to your point about like the vibrant color, I love like I'm a big subscriber to, like, color theory, and that's why I think I really love
yes,
Star Fox Adventures is all the environments, the mood, not
yes,
just the music, but like the vibe of how the colors provide. I think that's what
all of
helps the
it.
game. Yeah.
And do you know what? It's really ahead of its time because I mean, Avatar came a few years later, and it wouldn't
Mhm.
surprise me if Avatar was already in production when this stuff got released. But that was very much the beginning of all of this stuff. I
Mhm.
mean, if you look at it now, the graphics and all of it, it was so ahead of its time with regards to the water, and all of the fur, because the fur on Fox was just incredible, wasn't it, when it first
Mhm.
came out? And they really, really excelled themselves. And obviously, Avatar afterwards came out with sort of similar coloring. I might try and watch that tonight. Try and put the Avatar on.
Have you seen
I
the new
just love it.
movies or no?
I don't think I've seen the latest one. Where can I watch that?
Shit, if I know, I just
Hang on,
watched them.
Loic, where can I watch? Loic, where can I watch Avatar, the last movie? Oh,
Is it?
that's useful.
I was gonna say, chat. Fine, quick, scour the
Chat,
streaming sites.
please,
Is it on
guys,
Disney
help
Plus?
me.
It's on Disney Plus. Okay, that's good. I mean, my
Was
fiance
it?
is.
I
Yeah,
don't know whether I've got Disney Plus because I don't. Oh God, dare I say it? I don't like Disney. I'm
I
really
mean,
sorry. I don't want to offend anyone.
I know. I mean, well, my fiance might be upset. I'm just kidding. She doesn't care. I mean, no. I mean, I'm indifferent with Disney. But again, I mean, I love Star Wars, but they're part of Disney, so I'm kind of just I'm here by association. But
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
yeah. So
Yes.
everyone's saying Disney Plus. Quick, someone pirate the films. Do you guys want to
Oh
get in?
yes, please. Oh yeah. Oh, anti-establishment. That's fine.
Yeah, I
Do
don't
it.
really care.
Do it,
Do it.
guys.
Honestly, do it. I don't really care. Look, hey, listen. If buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing. That's how I look at it. You know, looking at you, some other corporations that want to do some other things. Now someone actually, and I actually wanted to ask this because one of the things that I love Krystal, but I think the thing that always rubbed me the wrong way as a kid was they kind of made her damsel in distress rather than actually, like, I know she's integral to the story. That's
Yes.
what always like put me off, which I was like, I'm glad in Assault, even though you didn't voice her in Assault. The fact is like she feels more like a actual badass, basically.
Yeah,
But
I don't know where that came from. I mean, obviously we know that Miyamoto wanted to kind of make her a little bit more appealing, I think, from
oh
what I
god,
understand.
yeah.
But that doesn't have to go hand in hand with being
Oh
a
no,
damsel in distress, does
no,
it? So
that
I
yeah.
don't know. I think a lot of people felt that way. It kind of sort of ruined. It was a bit of a misogynist kind of move, wasn't it? Really, in
That's
terms
kind
of,
of how well, and that's kind of like growing up in a single parent home with my mom and
Mm.
being the only guy in the family. I'm like, this is a bit odd. But I guess they asked like if there was one thing you could change about Krystal in Adventures, what would it be? It doesn't have to be that. Was there anything else that you were kind of like,
It
yeah, we
would
should...
literally be just being able to play as her
Yeah, of
throughout the whole
course.
thing.
Yeah, no shit. Like I would say
And
this.
I think everybody wanted that, didn't they? And I think that's
Yeah.
probably the one where they probably messed up really in terms of, that's probably
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the bit that I would change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Who else has questions? Oh, now I gotta look. As an example, how to speak. Yeah, tell me how to speak. I'm not speaking Dino. I'm gonna sound like I'm speaking like Wingdings or whatever random font, but that's okay. I mean, yeah,
Wingdings. We all remember Wingdings.
yeah, I still. When it comes to adapting the Star Fox team, what niche would she fill in? I think we already get that in Adventures. Jesus, Lord up above. I mean, I think Assault tells us what kind of role she would fit. So I don't, not to be like that, but I think we kind of know that from I'm actually looking at the questions right now to see what we got. Again, guys, you can keep the questions coming. Again, if I don't have a... Oh,
do I have a favorite dinosaur?
yes. Do you have a favorite dinosaur? You can't say Tricky. That's not fair. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, my son said pterodactyl. No, I don't actually. As in what, in the game or
No,
in
like a
general?
general. I would say in general.
Oh, what about those big ones that that were in Jurassic Park? The ones that just eat
The
leaves. You know, the
Is it a Stegosaurus? I don't know.
with a big long neck.
Is that a Stegosaurus, chat? Listen, I watched Jurassic Park, but bronchitis. I don't know how to fuck you pronounce Bronchiosaurus. Like
That's it, bronchitis. That's hilarious. Is that what it is? The big one with a big neck, and they're the
that's ones.
It. So my son Loix just said it. It's a
Brachiosaurus.
Yep.
Jesus God.
Brachiosaurus.
Why did they make it so hard to pronounce?
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Oh yes, my favorite dinosaur.
What do you call a dinosaur with one eye?
What?
Do you think he saw us?
Oh my God. I didn't think I'd be getting dad jokes by stuff. God damn it! But that's funny because Krystal's favorite dinosaurs in the games are the high. I was gonna say it's the high tops. Like I was gonna be like, I'm just gonna call them the high tops. Like every time I look at dinosaurs, I'm like, oh yeah, like the red eye. That's the freaking T-Rexes now. That's how I'm gonna tell my kids with the dinosaurs. But someone, I think it was, where are you at, Sharky? You had asked. Krystal, what is one change you don't want to see with Krystal? Assuming like she gets in another game or like if she's in another form of media.
I don't want her to look like she's some crack addict, basically.
You don't want her to look like Cat, basically, from...
Oh, I didn't say that, but yeah,
Uh,
I'd like her to look all fresh-faced and like not like she's been a mercenary for 20 years and like, God, in England we say she has a very lived-in face. I
yes.
don't want to see that,
Oh, God.
basically. So that's what I'm hoping for, really. And I think Chasen would probably agree with. I think
Nah,
honestly,
yeah.
I think I would probably have to fly out and nurse Chasen back to health if that ever
I'd
happened.
probably... Chasen would probably be on a watch list, honestly, trying to
I
kill
think
me.
so.
Because I don't actually mind the new models. Again, just because I don't mind them doesn't mean they're perfect. But again, I think the thing is, and I want to be very clear, I try to look at everything from a positive perspective. Like, I understand that
Yes,
the new game is
I
not
get that.
everybody's cup of tea, right? But let's think
Yeah.
about it this way, chat. And I think even Chasen brought this up. Like, Event Horizons had way more support since the new games come out. So many people streaming
Yes.
it. And I think that's
Correct.
my biggest takeaway is like, get it. I get it. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but the thing is as
Yeah.
long as this project's getting love and shh,
Yeah.
don't talk to anybody or don't do it. I'm looking at myself in chat, but that's, but, on a serious note, though, I think it's important to also look at the positives because I just think it's amazing how everyone still loves this project because it's like we want to see more, right? Like we're done seeing the same stuff, and I think Chasen's done again a great job of like bringing these stories to life. So
he's amazing. I'm just looking at it. The colors are just incredible, aren't they?
yeah, I know, and I'm trying not to get
Wow.
motion sick myself as I'm
I
playing.
know. Sorry, I know. It's just like.
Lived in faces, crazy crack Monroe, cat Krystal meth. Jesus, Lord up above, guys. Every cloud has a silver lining. They say, huh? Ain't that some? Let me see. Oh my God, yeah. Please don't get me started on Krystal in command, because you got the. Oh my God, please don't, because like I'm like that's not my that's not Krystal. Like that's like a fur walker that cracks. Crackstall. Do y'all have any other questions? I know Estelle, like again, if you're busy, I get it. I do want to make sure that I'm respectful.
Okay. No, this is quite
Oh,
nice.
okay, good,
Stay
good.
for as long as crystal meth. Brilliant. I like that
We'll
one.
go
That's
for like
another one.
maybe I'm going for at least another hour, but again, I just want to let you know, I want to be respectful of your time as well. So
Thank you. Well,
yeah, yeah,
listen, Jason will tell you. Obviously can't do it the Irish, what do you call it, an Irish goodbye, because that would be genuinely very rude.
yeah.
But when I need to go, I always like, okay, guys, I gotta go. Bye.
No,
And
yeah, we
I
understand.
don't, so yeah, don't worry. If I need to go, I will. Um, yeah. So
Who the hell is that, High Lord Spectra? Sarah's Victoria from Helsing. Oh, her. She's from an anime. Okay, I'm like, who the fuck is that? I had to remember, and I'm like, oh, now I remember. Yeah, I could see it.
2 questions I have for Estelle. What outfit you want for your Sona when I design it? Which one is your favorite? Oh, well, I get so much stuff sent to me, and I try and reshare as much as I can. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to narrow down whatever that is.
Which
That
question was that?
Sharky Friskies. The 2 questions I have for Estelle is, what outfit do you want for your Sona when I design you? Oh, treat. Second question is, do you enjoy the artworks I've been doing? If so, which one is your favorite? And you're going to have to remind me. I'm so sorry, because as I said, yeah. Am I? Oh no, it's all right. I just thought I'd gone in the wrong chat.
No, you're
As in,
good. I'm
yeah,
looking
I'm
too. I'm
following the
keeping
right
an eye on
thing.
that question. Don't worry. So
Right.
yeah, so I'm assuming you're looking on the artwork, I guess, right now. Oh, let me take a look. Because that was his one question. What's your? Because I'm amazed. Like Sharky's been fantastic, and I mean, while you do that, I guess I can chime in for a little bit. While we're on the topic, I think for me, obviously, I think that I don't know. I've always felt like Krystal's design in Assault just has this aura about it of just being a badass. And, I feel like Command would have been a proper evolution if they didn't butcher her character. But I've always felt like Krystal, as we'll dub it, I've done a couple of not I haven't done art, but I've commissioned art for what I would imagine, with the glasses, at a older
Yes.
age, more wise, kind of like how I would imagine how, for example, how wise Randorn is, or how should say how Chasen has done Randorn in his direction. Command is not canon. I agree. Um, I remember when Estelle gave me a like to a drawing I made of a fox in cowboy attire, and that was really made my day. So I thank you, Estelle, for giving me a like. Yeah,
That's
again.
okay. I will always try and share as much as I can.
hmm
Um, excuse me. Yeah, I try as much as I can.
Someone said something really nice. Admiral Ritsu. Hi, Austin and Estelle. I'm Ritsu. I apologize if I'm butchering that pronunciation. I would love to say I love both of your avatars. They're very adorable. Really, it is. I've been searching for Star Fox OCs for a while, and I finally did. I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for the kind words. You know,
Uh, I
I'm
like to hear that.
yeah, look, I sometimes joke about how myself being like Timu Marcus, but again, I do that as a joke. I mean, I take pride, of course, because you should take pride in the characters that you either make or and stuff like that.
Yes, absolutely.
I have same two outfits like Assault and Adventures, but modified. I mean, I guess I can narrow this down for you, Estelle. Like, what would you say, like, because I know you've seen the artwork of Krystal. Like, do you prefer how she looks? And I mean, that kind of is a bit biased. Of well, who am I kidding? But like,
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
But like, do you prefer the Assault variant, or is it just do you just like the Adventures more?
Do you know what? It depends. Well, I'm a girl, and I like lots of different
Yeah,
outfits. So, in all fairness, I like them all.
there
It
you go.
kind of it depends. I suppose it depends on the mood, isn't it? And so the assault one is very much almost James Bond kind of sort of,
Right.
and then obviously the adventures one more. Yeah, obviously tribal, but more sort of earthy and grounding. So I just love them all.
Yeah, and Chasen, that's not fair. I know yours is the best, obviously, because you have multiple. Like, I mean, no duh. You do it the best. Um, honestly, I'd love to see.
Crystal Bond.
I'd love to see Krystal as an older, like grandma version, but her, she'd be sweet and spoiling the grand. She would. She definitely would be spoiling the grand kits, of course. Begging
Yeah.
Marcus or whoever. But that no, I think.
Uh,
Oh shit. I'm trying to make sure I follow. I saw someone. Oh, this is actually a little fun question. Someone asked, so Spring Blast, I have just one question. How did you react when Fox was announced to be in the Mario Galaxy movie, meaning a Star Fox movie and the potential for Krystal to be in the big screen? Basically, I guess to summarize, like, when you first found out he was going to be in the movie, like, what were your thoughts?
I got slightly excited, and I also, and I can speak, yeah, I can probably speak openly and honestly about this. Because
Yeah.
there was a lot of stuff historically, like Donkey Kong was in the original Mario
Mm-hmm.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me, my heart slightly sank because I know, and I went to the movies and watched this with my family at the time, and I
Mm-hmm.
know that Grant Kirkhope did all of the scores for
Mm-hmm.
Donkey Kong.
Right.
And at the end, I waited for all the credits and everything, and I saw that the music, and you can see all of this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the music was not specific people like you found
Mm-hmm.
on, all of the artwork and all of this stuff, that the rest of the people that were
Right.
credited,
Right. Right.
so
Right.
to speak. So obviously, because of how close I am to Dave and Kevin and and all of these guys, but obviously with regard to Dave Wise, I knew that he'd basically done the majority of the work for that,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of thought, oh shit, they're doing this right. It's great. People are going to be introduced even more to Star Fox. Yes, there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
coming, but part of me was also like, oh shit, are they going to be using some of the music that my friends have basically created and not being credited for it,
Mm-hmm.
um, because we know that they can be a bit naughty like that, can't they?
Yeah.
So mixed emotions. I mean, obviously that one of them was like, oh god, okay, great, this is brilliant. Star Fox is getting back back onto the radar. We're going to
Mhm.
get some, more followers. People are going to be interested. All of this stuff. And then there's another part. So now Nintendo are still very much aware of the franchise and haven't sort of put it in a box in a corner of a room somewhere and forgotten about it. So
Mhm.
lots of mixed emotions really in terms of what that could mean. I mean, it's great because it's trying to give the fans what they want,
Right.
but also where everybody's happy with it. Anyway, it's all
Mhm.
very political and it's all but
Yeah.
excuse me, from a personal point of view, we've helped sort of maintain and keep the franchise alive.
Mhm.
Um, and they've spent a lot of time, energy, and love in the scores in the game. So yeah, it's a case of will they do it justice or not? If they do it again, um, loads of different questions in your head. Oh God, will they get me to voice in the movie? Very much
Mhm.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
be lovely, but again, and lovely in so many different ways. Do you know what I mean? But then
Mhm.
again, would it be or would it be? So when I heard about it, I was like, okay, mixed emotions. Let's see how this sort of pans out. Let's see what happens. So and obviously, the new game that kind of came out on the 25th of June, that sort of, so we're very much back on the map. But as everybody knows, we're back on the map. We need to be really
Yeah.
careful.
Shh, everyone. Listen, I'm
Shh.
clearly playing a very legal version of the game on my GameCube. Just don't tell anybody, okay? Clearly,
Yes,
is we know. Um,
we love this game.
yeah, we
No, and
love
it's,
this
you know
game.
what? It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's
Mhm.
definitely it's a credit to the actual franchise. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? So, um, it just it's giving the fandom what they want really, and Jason's just
Right.
done it all on his own, which
Mhm.
comes with that added layer of of respect and yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
extraordinary. you know
I'm talking about, yeah, I don't know why Estelle's telling people shh is so funny to me. Listen, we're all like, we're shh. But like, anywho, I do think that it is, again, very great what this project is doing because it's really a love letter to this franchise, doing things that I think we've been wanting to see. But also just, again, I can say it till the cows come home, honestly. We're like, I like every time I feel like, you know what, Chasen, you've done enough or you're doing a really good job. I'm not saying don't do anything better. And then he does something better. I'm like, holy fuck. Like,
yeah, I
I'm,
know, which is why I'm really excited about um um
Mhm.
oh god, what's it, squat oh my god, Sigma, with Norin. Jason, what are we calling it?
Never top the karaoke.
Oh
What is it?
god,
Yeah, I was
what
gonna
is
say,
it?
what is it called? It's like,
So
yeah, Squadron Sigma.
Squadron Sigma,
Mhm.
that's it. So basically, this is just the beginning. So I genuinely, the Event Horizon is the warm up, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, the Squadron Sigma is where I believe the magic is, because we can have the artistic license. You know,
Mhm.
we can have bit more. Well, not bit more. We can have, Jason's got the entire reign over that. So that that's the plan, I believe, with regards to that. So yeah, it's yeah, he said, yeah, I want to move to Norrin and do original stuff so
Yeah.
badly. Yeah. So this is kind of the introduction to what Jason can do. So as you say, every time there's something bit more extraordinary going
Mhm.
on, and yeah, so buying into that particular style and his talent as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
No, I did actually want to ask because I know some of my community. I know you were in the chat, and some people asked, like, "Oh, does Estelle take commissions?" I know you're always looking for work, and my
I
community would love to support
do.
you. So, like, yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
thank
Mhm.
you. I do. I basically, so the whole Estelle Ellis Krystal sort of thing is me as an individual. I like working with people in terms of coaching people.
Mhm.
I like voice commissions. I like, obviously, I've set up Made by Creators.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No,
So
you're good.
Gary,
You're
my
good.
dog,
No, you're
has a
good.
tendency to bark, right? Which is what
Yeah.
dogs do, right? And I've got a
I will.
neighbor
Oh
who
God.
I'm openly, yeah, he's one of those. He's not very nice. He doesn't like me. He
He's a,
sends people emails about me,
oh,
trying
oh, what
to,
a
yeah,
dickhead.
yeah, he is. He's a wanker. Anyway, So every time Gary barks, I'm like, can you just check? And of course, my mum's got dementia. So of course, at
Oh.
7:30 on a Sunday morning, she
Mhm.
lets the dogs out, and Gary goes nuts because she's like, seriously, please, just like not, please don't. Anyway, so he's barking, so I've just sent him.
Okay.
So right, so
Commissions,
this
yeah.
question: do you stream, Estelle?
Mhm.
Right, yeah. Commissions, please, by all means, send me a message on X. I do. Made by Creators is my new business where, and hopefully you and I will be working together,
Yes.
whereby I help people bring to market their very own plushie and potentially their own merch, i.e. t-shirts, caps, key rings and things like that. So
Mhm.
the website is where everybody buys the latest plushies, and that's kind of where I'm going with that. So I will try and get certain things sort of set up on there. I do personalized birthday cards, I do videos, I do, all of that stuff. So pretty much I do most things
Mhm.
within obviously the safe for work brackets,
Yeah.
obviously.
Now, do you stream? Yeah.
Um,
What's that
and
question?
then somebody asked about, do I stream? Okay, so before my headset just went to shit and my microphone switched off. We were talking about obviously the crowdfunding that we've done with
Right.
regards to this laptop. Right. So I think I found the laptop that I want. So I'm going to, I don't know whether I need to go and pick it up or whether I'm a bit worried about buying it online. That's my only worry. So I'm getting that bit further. So once I've got that, in terms of streaming, ideally what I'd really like to do is something like this. I'm not very good at gaming though, I'm going to be honest. So
You don't
I
have
don't
to.
I don't know whether people can just see me with my camera where I can just talk to
Yeah,
people.
that happens all the time
Like,
on Twitch. Yeah.
okay, right. So that would be, so that's basically what I'd really like to do. And also I'd like to create an avatar, a Krystal avatar and
Mhm.
also a Krystal avatar, and basically talk to, oh yes, Estelle should play relaxed puzzle games. That is
Yes.
such a good idea. But the trouble with that though, guys, is that unlike Austin, I can't multitask. And I don't know how people would feel watching me fuck up Tetris because I'm too busy talking. So I'd have to try it, but it might end up as a disaster because it
I
might
mean, that's the
literally, I might
charm,
not be able
though.
to do.
That's the charm that
Okay.
so
Well, do you know what? We could try do that. We
yeah,
could,
try it.
I'd raid Estelle in a heartbeat. Does that mean,
So
what does that mean?
so
That means
that
loads of people come on your
yes.
stream, doesn't it?
So
Yeah. Okay.
what I do is so this is how it works is like I basically choose someone or a streamer that's live to share my audience with. I send my whole audience there. Listen, this audience gives me crap for my flying sometimes. So listen, but that's the charm in it though. That's what makes this fun. So
Okay.
I wouldn't be worried about that. But again, like I think
Okay.
but we'll be right behind you. It'd be exciting. I mean, you don't even have to play games. Like you could just chit chat or do like if you're just wanting to do
Yeah.
like meditation stuff, you could do anything.
That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to get up and yeah, and do it and do the
Mhm.
sort of the chat, this sort of stuff. But also I really want to share my experience in terms of mindfulness. And
Right.
when I say mindfulness, it sounds really flaky, right? And that's not what I want to talk about. I want to be able to talk about how to harness the mind to overcome limiting beliefs,
Mhm.
the stuff that is going to be useful for people. And that's the stuff that really lights me up because almost like an agony aunt, I just want to be able to, like help people sort of become self-aware and kind of
Mhm.
really unpack their own reality. That's the stuff that really gets me going because um from personal experience, I've been through a really fucking terrible 12 months, I have to say.
Mhm.
But I'm here, and the stuff that I've done and evolved, particularly on this side of me, it's just been incredible. I've really stepped out my comfort zone. I've really done a lot of stuff that I didn't think I would ever do, and it's exciting. And that's just from learning stuff. And I really want to share that, you know.
Yeah. No.
So so maybe, yeah, getting on here and doing that like regularly with the guys. And if we can earn a bit of money doing it, that would be
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
useful.
I mean, hey,
But
listen,
if I
we
can
need
also
something.
help people, yeah, well, if I can help people at the same time, that would be my ideal. So
Mhm.
yes. So that's that. Mindfulness is important. It's the key.
Yes.
And wholesomeness, yes, that's when people talk about me, I kind of that's what I want people to think,
Yeah,
you
and I
know,
think that's the vibe we
positive.
get from you actually as well, is just like, being able to just be mindful, be positive even when things are, and that's the thing is like I try to make that reciprocal, right? Like I think that's the other thing is when you cultivate that group of people or like get everybody to be like, hey, let's just be positive. Like we all go through rough times, and they come at any moment. But the
Yes.
fact that it's like, you've been so positive, even no matter the stuff that you've been through and doing things, and we still love what you do. And, even when it's other people that are going through things and you're there, like, I think that's the best part about the whole thing of what you're trying to do is it goes both ways. And I think it really shows the impact you
Yes.
have on others.
Oh, and
Yeah.
you know what? I'm really grateful for it because literally all I'll need to do is just put a post up, and the love I get, I get more love.
Hmm.
Well, now and when I was in my dark place, so to speak, I'd
Hmm.
get more love from people within the community than people or a person, under the same roof, and I just find it fascinating, like, just the
Hmm.
support networks that should be applicable to everybody. Everybody deserves to have their own little community, which is kind of why I created that mindful community on Discord,
Yeah.
where everybody kind of regroups in there and talks about their problems, their emotions, and literally
Hmm.
just goes there to vent. So they've got a space where they know that if they go in there and start writing stuff, that somebody somewhere in the world is awake and on that Discord channel. And I actually think it's probably one of the best things I've ever done.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
so yeah. So if anyone's on here and doesn't know about it, you send me a message on X and ask me for the link to my mindful Discord. Obviously, it's a safe space. Everyone has to hold space for people, and no judgment. That's
Oh,
the big thing.
absolutely. And that's
And yeah, and everybody goes in there, they unpack how they feel. I get people to sort of talk about three emotions that they're feeling there and then. Is there something positive that they want to say about their day? And if there's something negative, then they can say the negative side, but then they have to say something positive about the day.
mhm.
And and it's all about kind of brain dumping, which once we brain dump, it is a form of release. And just other people just not even trying to fix stuff, other people just being there and just being there and listening and
Yeah.
reading, you feel a lot better. So anyway, that's that. So
No, no, no. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And it's just like, and I see Sharky here, Estelle, before I pass out or something, because they're actually in Australia right now. I want to
Oh,
say
bless.
thank you for your giving me the motivation to draw. It recently helped me improve my art skills, and drawing Krystal back and forth has expanded my AU for. And again, that's the impact.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And I always tell people, just do it. Keep
Hmm.
going. Keep
Yes.
going. And the fear of judgment, who gives a shit?
Exactly.
Everybody is too busy worrying about what everybody else is thinking about themselves, right? So actually,
Oh,
if you really think about it, no one's asked. No one is asked. And if someone does say something or judges you, then it's on them. It's definitely not on you. So
yeah.
if somebody says something to me, I'm like, okay, well, where's that come from? What made you want to say that?
Uh
Well,
huh.
I'm sorry something has happened to you to be mean, and you turn it around,
Yeah.
and that's, self-awareness. And it's very, practical for us as well. Well, why am I not drawing more? Why am I not posting it?
Hmm.
Oh, because I feel that people won't like it. Okay, well, you don't know that. And
Right.
ultimately, you can't please everybody. But that's just, the fear of judgment. Imposter syndrome is a big one within sort of the creative arena. So
Hmm.
many incredible artists out there who genuinely, undervalue their own work. And that's the imposter syndrome. So
Yeah.
and that's just us getting in our own way.
No, for sure. And
So
yeah, let me see. Yeah, everyone's all okay. So this is a good question because it's always good to pick into the mind of like someone that's played the character. So someone asked like, "What is
yeah.
your head canon for Fox and Chris? Like, what would I guess? Like, what do you think is like their end game, or like what's your canon with them? Or you're just like, I don't really care. I know you don't say that, but it's just like, oh, it is
Oh,
what it is.
do you know what? As anybody, right, with oh God, what's her name, bless her, that just died? Oh God, is it Hannah? What's her name? She recently died, bless her, and she played in Nashville. Does anyone know? Does anyone? Oh, I'm showing my age now, really. I've started binge watching Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and the Nashville show. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it, because, and Jason will laugh at this. Um, So my future husband is going to be a cowboy. I've decided.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just need to find him. Hayden Panettiere, that's it. So basically, I've started watching that, right? And I don't know if anybody. Yes, Hayden Panettiere, when Winter Soul, well done. Yeah, Game of Wolf, you got it. You got it. Exactly. Thank you for that. So basically, I started watching that, and the story within that, actually, with regards to the main actress and her love interest, it's so strange. But it's giving me kind of Star Fox and Krystal vibes in terms of like their first love, and then it doesn't quite work, and then they fall back in love, and then they don't, all of this stuff. Yes, and poor Hayden, she was taken far too early.
Yeah.
That's the whole like terrible, which is one of the reasons why I decided to start watching it. And yeah, it so my end goal, basically, I don't know. Everybody wants them to sort of settle down, don't they? And do so. Maybe that is because I think it would be quite sad for it not to work out.
Right.
But they are quite strong personalities, aren't they? So it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of were that, I don't want to say toxic couple, but maybe the challenging couple that kept
Yeah.
falling in and out with each other in terms of, and always being that constant love and
Mhm.
not, I don't know. I might be, yeah,
I
I've
mean, I
come from
hear.
a tainted background where mine hasn't necessarily been idyllic. So yeah, they
Yeah.
deserve to settle down after all they've been through. Yes, you're probably right. Yes.
I think, yeah, and I think that's the thing. I don't know what Chasen has planned up for Event Horizon. That's why I love the story, because we're kind of seeing their relationship develop, and like, will it follow this? I mean, I don't want to be spoiled, of course, but I think my headcanon has always been they do. I mean, no couple's perfect, obviously. I think they have two strong, like you said, two strong personalities. But then again, like, even in my own relationship, we have, like, I'm super extroverted. I'm very introverted. But, like, we're opposites. Like, my fiance is extroverted. I'm not. But it works out, and we have
Yeah.
strong things we like. And I think but, like, there are moments where it's like, okay, this is enough. But they still care for one another. I think that's because they both come from similar backgrounds. They lost their parents. Well, Fox's
Yeah.
mom is, I think, just estranged at this point. We're let's see here. Yeah, Fox and Krystal are dysfunctional. Yeah, and God forbid they have children. Like Marcus, also whoever you want to throw in there, like that makes it even worse. And it's just like, because I don't think that. I think if they do settle down, like we see in Command, they have a son or a daughter, whoever. I don't think they would be like a hard ass. Like I don't think Fox like, I'm gonna go save Lilat again. But
Yeah.
nah, but I think it's really cool to think, and that's what I love about Star Fox is it's so goddamn ambiguous of how you make of it, and how people are so talented and like, oh, this is what I actually have going on. I'm like, oh hell yeah, like this is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, someone said we're going to see Falco and Kat get together. Jason, that would be so cool. Yeah. Oh my god, it sounds like it's starting to get like the Friends set, isn't it? Where they're all going out with each other.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
quite funny. It'd be interesting. Have you got any plans for that, Jason?
Yeah, Chasen, what do you got? I know.
What have we got? Cooking. What's going
Listen,
on?
I already get enough people going like, "Oh, when's Marcus gonna be in?" I'm like, honestly, I don't like, it's like Marcus is just gonna be there, like, "Hey, Dad," like, like in the backdrop.
Oh,
But I mean, I don't. Like I said, I think what's great is I'm really excited to see how this story pans out, and I think we love. We
Yeah.
can't wait to see you fully voice act all of the lines. I understand you're extremely busy. Like, trust me, every time I play it, they're like, "Can't wait to hear Estelle do these lines here and here." But I think the part, like, and I almost got emotional. Like, Chasen almost got me one day, and it was the cut scene with Shears when Krystal says to Fox, "It's not your fault," and
Yes.
talking about his dad in a
Yes.
certain way, because I
Yes.
don't want to say I fully relate to that, but like the whole idea of my dad doing certain things and not trying to follow in this. Well, I mean, I understand James is respected. I'm not trying to shit talk him. Absolutely the hell
Yes.
not. But just having that emotional connection of like, you have someone to support you and stuff like that. I think that is what really, because like it was like looking at myself, and I think that's what I love how Chasen has written and portrayed these,
Yes.
and the voice acting, like you doing it, Kyle, everybody just sells that scene, and I think that's what makes Event Horizon so fucking phenomenal.
I know. And and again, but people,
they love working on it.
Mhm.
We love doing it. So I think it's, yeah, it's that wholesomeness that people are fully investing themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let me see. Does anybody and we're going for probably like 20-ish more minutes or until still has to say goodbye, but if anybody has any more questions. Okay, so someone actually asked you, I'm not sure if you saw this. Um, when you auditioned for Star Fox Adventures, did you expect working alongside the original cast from Star Fox 64, or did you already know that
Oh, I
Nintendo
had
switched up the
no
cast?
idea. I
Okay,
had
yeah,
no
I
idea.
figured.
I didn't know what was I had no idea what I was walking into. Genuinely.
Yeah.
No idea what I was walking
Let
into.
me see. I will actually let me pull this up. Actually, I'm trying to play like one of those. Oh, I'll go back to the Volcano Forest Point Temple. Just keep blowing crap up. Um, let's see. It's me, Boo. I have a question. How was Crystal's experience with Rareware and Nintendo? Did she? Okay, so like that's a really good question. I was like, I know you talked about like the environment. I guess we'll ask it again. Like, what was your experience like working with both Rare and Nintendo at that point in time? Like getting involved in just the overall work environment day to day.
Oh, it was lovely. It was just like a big family.
Mhm.
Everyone knew each other, and it was just so it was lovely. People, because I used to go and I used to take all the pay slips around every month. After a certain amount of time, I knew everybody. I knew exactly where they all were in each barn. I knew their full names, and I knew them all. So I would go around with each box, and I would go and chat to people and see them, and and it was like it was a family environment. Everyone was just so lovely. Everyone got on and knew each other, and we all used to have sort of house parties, and we'd all end up going to the house parties and being together. And yeah, it was fun. And you know what, when people talk about, la belle époque, where it was like, oh god, like the golden years,
Mhm.
you don't know they're golden until you're out of them, and we were in the
Right.
thick of that time where yeah, it was just my 20s were extraordinary.
Okay.
My
Oh.
20s were extraordinary. I was
Mhm.
very, very blessed. I met some incredible people. I was around some exceptionally talented people. I was really fortunate with everything that I did. And I was very fortunate that actually going to work every day was going somewhere that was just fun, where people would just, and the energy, as I said, you walk into work and there was no ill feeling about any of it. You
Mhm.
were just literally so happy. And actually, this is quite interesting because I remember um my only other office experience was when I was at uni. I went to do some part-time work for, they used to be called Triton showers, electric showers. And in the evening, you had to go in and you had to data input and key in these orders on these
Mhm.
sheets. And I remember going in the evening to earn a little bit of extra cash. And that was my first experience of an office. And it was fucking terrible.
Oh
It was
god.
awful. It was awful. The people were nasty. They were horrible. There was like, and back in those days, you could smoke in the buildings, but they had a smoking room, and like a box room with loads of
Oh
windows,
yeah.
and people would go
Mhm.
in and have cigarettes, yeah, and then they'd come out and they'd stink, and half the offices
Oh
still stink,
god.
you know and it was just, and I remember thinking, oh god, is this work? Is this it? This is terrible. And I'm not surprised that people went in and did work and came back miserable, because when I went to Rare and I first started, it was just like, oh no, this is what we do, this is how it is, these are the people, this is, and this, and it was work, but it didn't seem like work.
Mhm.
It was just, it was fun, it was wholesome. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was a, you know the Stampers, when they were in work mode, were rather scary, you know,
Mhm.
but they got shit done. They were bloody good at what they did,
Right.
and but it taught me. And Carol Stamper was iconic, particularly for me,
Mhm.
and I think she had a massive impact on me and how I see women in business and my career,
Mhm.
and the potential of women in the workplace, because she was a badass. She
Hell
was,
yeah.
and for me, that was like really inspirational. So on so many different levels, it was just, I was just so fortunate to be part of it. Really, yeah, it was just lovely. And even thinking back to it now, it was like, and also it kind of managed expectations that actually, do you know what? You can be 25 and drive around in a really nice car. You know, you can, be part of something that lights you up. Um, and obviously, that whole environment then sent me into another sort of family environment, because I used to work for Mad Cats,
Mm-hmm.
and we were a very small team there that we all got on incredibly well with, and then after Mad
Mm-hmm.
Cats, obviously, then I started working for Venom, and then Venom is also a very family run business. So
Mm-hmm.
I just think that family atmosphere was kind of, what kind of allowed me then to move forward. And now I suppose, even with the stuff that I'm doing with Chasing, with Drone Commander and all that stuff, that human connection, that kind of family touch, that's the magic. And I
Right.
think it's important for people to kind of, understand that. And I think I learned that very, very early on, that actually you can work in places where you're happy, and that it is kind of family like,
Mm-hmm.
where people become your friends or look out for you, not just a bloody number. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, still change. I mean, it still changed a lot of our lives. Like, I would listen, if you told me a month ago I would be literally doing the weirdest cosplay of being Fox and Crystal's son, being a jackass on the internet full time, I would think you're fucking nuts. But
Oh, and here we
yeah, here we are, and
are.
I'm talking to someone that inspired me to do this stuff, which is great.
That's
Yeah, and
amazing.
this
I
is
love that.
oh, absolutely. There is a fantastic question from Nitro Wolfie Draws. I'm getting shot at. What advice would you God damn it. What advice would you give to people who want to become voice actors, Estelle? Just figured I would ask because I know some people who would want to get into that sort of thing. Hell, I would consider doing it. I mean, I know I think we talked about it earlier. Like, I've done a little bit when I was in college, and I was just like, this isn't really for me because I sound weird. Then again, like, I've done podcasting and stuff like that, but not voice acting. So, like, what would you think, Estelle, in your experience, if someone's
Okay, so the only person that's stopping you from doing whatever it is that you want, including this, is obviously yourself.
Right.
And I have to have chats with myself as well, right? So basically, the best thing you can do is just do it.
Mhm.
Start doing some reels, start doing, your own recordings, see how you sound. If you enjoy it and you genuinely really enjoy it, then do it, right? And by that, I mean, and I always say this to people, projects like, the smaller indie projects, even
Mhm.
like Event Horizon, the smaller studios that need a little bit of help, but also allows you to get your own sort of exposure. These are the studios where you kind of approach and offer your services for free, right? And I'm only saying that initially just in order to get your foot in the door, try and get a little bit of exposure, learn what it's like to actually voice and do lines for a
Mhm.
said game, learn the process, see what works for you, and just do it, but decide that that's what you're doing.
Mhm.
Because I'm a firm believer that, if you have any element of self-doubt, you'll bring that in. Yeah. And if you don't think, you'll get a gig, or if you don't think you're good enough, then you won't be,
Right.
because you're showing up that way. So all I say is, do you know what? Just do it. Just do it. Have a go. You've got nothing to lose. Look into it. See what you need. I'm very fortunate because obviously I started obviously where I was at, and I had a massive head start with regards to that. But you only need to go and, for example, get involved in something like Event Horizon, or Drone Commander, or even things like oh God, Fox and the Fedora. Is it Fox and the Fedora? It is, isn't it? No, yeah, Fox and the Fedora. All of that stuff. They're always looking for sort of new talent, and obviously that allows you to sort of put yourself out there, but it
Mhm.
also allows them to have their small
R-
project supported.
Right.
And always, yeah, just do it. Just start.
Yeah.
Just reach out. Have a go. You know, I suppose I'm hitting my own limitations in terms of I've reached out to a few agencies and things like that, because I could potentially try and work on some other projects.
Mhm.
Obviously, I'm getting in my own way because that's not happening, but I also trust that's it. It's Fox and the Fedora, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. I guess I've
Yeah,
never heard of it, so I
yeah.
don't know.
Oh, so I did. So basically, it's like an animated like audio book thing,
Okay.
and I did one of the characters in there. I did Captain Christine.
Okay.
So she's a pirate. So yeah, so there's loads of, like, literally just get stuck in. If you enjoy it, do it. If you don't,
Yeah.
then maybe it's not for you, sort of thing. But yeah,
No,
just
that's
do it. I always say you've got to jump, because if you don't jump, you'll just be stood there forever. And it's only when you start to jump that's when the magic happens.
for sure. Yeah,
So just do it.
Jason, give me like tree number 5 on Soria for. I'm just joking. I always take the
Number
piss out of that. Oh, this is an interesting one. Estelle, what do you think of art online of Fox and Krystal having a happy family together? Kind of.
That's lovely. It's a
Yeah.
bit, it was similar to the question that we've just had in terms of
Yeah.
the end bit. Well, everybody wants that, don't they? So again, it's almost like give the people what they want.
My
You know.
avatar is not working. Okay. Yeah, up there I am.
Oh, has he stopped talking?
I got him. I got him. It's because you know why? Because I'm playing the game and I'm doing commands. That's why.
Right. Got it. Okay.
EEP. Yeah, thanks, chat. Let's
Uh,
see. Eeper. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to join the Discord I got, you're more than happy. You can follow, all that other stuff. I'm not worried about that. Let me see. Any other questions we got? I know we asked about Estelle. No,
my
someone.
dad used to say there are no problems, there are only opportunities. Absolutely. I 100% agree with Dad. Yes.
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 Absolutely. And I think that's the main thing is that, hold on one second. I'm just trying to see. I know someone had brought up, I think I got everything. Again, it's for me. I don't know what that question, I'm just kind of looking. Here's a good one. Do you have any fond memories of Jock Blaney? I know you two worked together for Event Horizon.
No, we didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't. Because obviously when we do lines and that, we do them on our own.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately not. Chasen is your guy, because I know he spoke very fondly about him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I
Private.
was never privileged enough to be able to meet him. No.
Okay. You only okay. I mean, and again, everyone has different personalities. I tend to be more private, so I definitely understand it. But we love what he's done. I'm still upset with of his passing, but it's just
So sad.
it is very
Really.
sad.
We've lost a load of people this year. It's just been quite tragic.
Let me take a look
So-
really quickly. I'm actually gonna pause the game so you guys can. I know my avatar has been moving, but you guys won't actually see the avatar in post production, right? If Krystal joined Super Smash Bros, would Estelle reprise her? Well, that would be up to Nintendo, but I would main Krystal or Fox every time. That's what I did. Let me take a look. Oh, I also wanted to tell Estelle one thing. Rareware and Nintendo did a very, very great job on choosing her to be Krystal. I don't believe someone can replace someone with such a unique voice that with all honesty, they nailed it. It would be amazing to have you back again in the canon if they bring Krystal back. Well, we do have her in Event Horizon, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that,
Yes.
even if the door is shut with Nintendo, the good thing is life opens up more doors for you, So I think that that's how I look at it too. Let me see.
Yes.
So someone asked, are we going to see the Aproid War? And yeah, I think Chasen said, yeah, we're going to get that next. I would hope. I mean, if not, then we're gonna have a fucking problem. No, I'm just kidding. Because that's like my favorite. Let me see here. Again, I got first. Okay, I think this is also part of the same questions, but again, I think we talked about it. Do you like the fan art done to Krystal in general? I would say yeah. Like.
Yeah, overall, I love seeing all of the work. Obviously, everyone's style is different. There's certain pieces of work I'd rather not be sent.
No, I'm not a fan of that. That's just me, but like.
Yeah, some people feel the need to send me certain things, and I'm just like, okay, thank you, but no thanks. So yeah, but on the whole, yes, I do like to see the art there, because there's so many different facets to her, and everyone's creates different versions of her, which is lovely.
Take a look. I'm actually scrolling up through the chat to see if there's any other questions. So I appreciate your patience, because everyone loves. Again, this is what I love is like we show so much passion to learn more or learn from you, so that we can all be better or learn things. Okay, I think we kind of answered that intro. If you were to make a sprite of I Actually, this is a different one. So because you wanted to stream in your avatar, if you were to make a sprite of Krystal for
Yes.
content creation, how would that look? Would you have a casual outfit? Would she have her Saurian outfit, etc.?
Oh, I haven't really thought about it, to be quite honest. I think once I've got the laptop, that's when it'll be like, Jason, quick, I need to start. So I don't know. It might, I never really thought about it, but I think probably if I'm doing, depending on what I'm doing, if it's like the mindful stuff, it'll probably be something quite comfortable and casual and hippie potentially. But I don't quite know. I know I've already got one.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Yeah.
So maybe I'll just start with that and talk with that. I just need to figure out how that works. So yes, basically.
Yeah. And again, like, you guys are more than happy to continue asking questions.
So
But if you gotta
I was
go,
going to say, I'll answer another couple of questions and then
I
shall
was actually gonna be
go.
going soon as well. That's why I'm like trying to like.
Okay.
So I guess.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, Miss Ellis, you're the most gorgeous voice actress of Krystal. She's a beautiful vixen. Well, thank you so much. You know, I greatly appreciate that. But okay, this is a good one from Revan. So Revan asks,
Okay.
oh, sorry, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have any words of wisdom or mantras that help you through your dark times?
Okay. So when things start getting dark or basically nothing is forever, and sitting in those moments instead of being overcome by the panic and the anxiety and whatever else, that is what basically we need to stop running away from whatever it is that's happening. And I think in the times where I felt really kind of helpless and dark, I've realized that one, things always work out, nothing is temporary, and that includes the really good moments, right? And exercising a bit of gratitude. And I think when I talk about gratitude, one of the most profound things I kind of realized was there's a kind of a, I can't remember what his name is. So he's really big in the coaching community, right? And he calls it the red car theory. So for example, if you're feeling down and things are shit and all of this stuff, right? If it's like okay, so if I was to tell you, or I would show you, in fact, this is interesting because this is kind of what I want to portray it, so that you guys are my guinea pigs in terms of how I'm trying to explain this. If I give you a screen, and if you will, it's like Tetris, and you've got all different shapes and colors, right? In your mind's eye, I want you to see this Tetris, these shapes coming down, right? And there's red ones, blue ones, green ones, and yellow ones, yeah? Now, I want you in your mind's eye to focus on the red ones going down. And just imagine that. So you'll be watching this and you'll be counting all the red blocks going down, right? Now, if I said to you, okay, how many red blocks did you see? And you'd be able to say to me, oh, I saw 6, I saw 7, oh, I saw 8. Okay, great. In that time frame, I'll also say to you, okay, well, how many yellow ones were there? Would you be able to tell me how many yellow ones fell down or came down onto your screen? You would not. And the reason why you're not is because you were too busy seeing the red ones coming down. So what I'm trying to say is that when we fixate on the bad stuff or the stuff that's overwhelming, we also miss the stuff that's outside of that actually is more positive. Yeah. So from a subconscious level, your subconscious will continually try and show you what it's trying to reaffirm or what you're trying to reaffirm. Excuse me. And with that in mind, on the daily basis, if you say, okay, well, do you know what, today, show me 6 things that I'm going to be really grateful for. Show me 6 things. And there are way more than 6 things that we can pick out, right? We just need to be very aware of looking out for those 6 good things. Because if I said to you, we've got to pick 6 shit things, right? We'll be able to pick 6 shit things too. So in those dark times, I know it's hard and those feelings of overwhelm, but actually, do you know what? And I'll speak openly about this. You know, I left my home, I split up with my partner, and I moved back in with my mum who'd got dementia, and I felt like I'd completely regressed. And I thought, God, you know, I've created a home with my family, and now I'm back sleeping in a small bedroom at my mum's house. Whereas actually, That could be, okay, well, that's shit. I've got no partner. I'm on my own. No one loves me. I'm back where I started 15 years ago, blah, 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 all of this stuff. Whereas actually, then I'm like, well, do you know what? Actually, I'm back at my mum's house, so I'm safe, and it's a lovely house. 2, I get to sleep in my big bed on my own, and I love my sleep. 3, it's not noisy. It's very calming. It's very grounding.
Mhm.
4, my nervous system can settle down because I'm not walking around wondering what version of this person's going to walk through the door.
Mhm.
You know, and I'm not talking about domestic abuse or anything like. He wasn't
Right.
like that at all. But there was, you know, it was very difficult. And everybody, I'm sure everybody who listens to me, someone will be able to relate with the fact that actually you don't know what version of a person is going to walk through the door. You know, so you in really hard times like that, you know, and also when I got made redundant. Oh my God,
Mhm.
I haven't got a job. You know, how am I going to earn money? How am I going to buy food? How am I going to pay my bills? Right. On the flip side of it, it's like, okay, right. I'm now going to be able to fully focus on Event Horizon, on getting this laptop that
Mhm.
people have donated money for me to go online. So they believe in me. They want to see me on Twitch. They want to hear me. 3, I can be at home and I can literally look after my mum properly, you
Right.
know, and be there for her without having to worry about being out on the road or being at my laptop between 9 till 5. You know, I can learn I want to learn how to trade in gold. I want to be a little trader, you know, all of these things. It's literally, but it's a case of in those dark times, acknowledging,
Mhm.
right, I'm in the shit. I'm in the dark time now. This is dark. Okay. This is how I'm feeling. But actually now, acknowledge those dark feelings, but then also, right, okay,
Mhm.
where's the light? Because when you're in a dark room, all you need is a tiny, tiny crack of a light, right?
Right.
Only a tiny crack of a light.
Mhm.
Whereas the opposite, when you're in a bright room, that darkness, you don't see it,
Mhm.
right? We always have to remember that. So the light will always, always win over the darkness. And in those dark times, and I have to keep reminding myself, and yes, we reach out to our friends and family and all of this stuff. And it's very important that we have that support network, which
Mhm.
is why I created the Discord, which is why I want to come online here and talk to everybody, you know, and unpack things and be authentic
Right.
and share my own stories, you know. But when we're in the darkness, there was always somebody there. And apparently 8 minutes is all it takes to talk and communicate to someone
Mhm.
in order to feel better.
Right.
So that in itself is also, so reach out. 8 minutes. And I genuinely, and I know that, and this has worked for me, 8 minutes of your friend's time. And if one of the messages that I can send out and you tell your friends, 8 minutes means I need to talk to you, I'm in a dark place. That's all it is. Because people message each other, oh, how you doing? Checking in all the time. And actually it's like, oh, I didn't know you were feeling terrible.
Mhm.
I didn't know because you just messaged me and, oh, how's it going? Whereas actually what they meant was not how's it going? Have you got 8 minutes for me?
Yeah. No.
So that's really poignant. So all of that stuff for the dark moments, that is my advice.
Oh,
Reaching out, asking for that time and sitting and unpacking and exercising that gratitude, looking for those red cars, looking for
Mhm.
those yellow ones, you know. That'll be my last piece of advice
I was gonna
before I
say, yeah,
disappear.
I was gonna say because I know, and I appreciate you providing that last piece of advice because we can all use that, especially in this day and age. But Estelle, this has been fucking phenomenal. I can't thank you enough for you taking the time out of your day to do. I know you're super busy. I
That's
can't.
okay. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Mhm.
Thank you. And start following me on Twitch because I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Follow
start
her account right
yeah,
now.
showing up. Yes, please, if that's
I'll be sure
okay.
to raid you.
And yeah, oh God, I don't know how to deal with that. So yeah, you can raid me, but I'm not quite sure what
Oh,
to
well,
do
you gotta
with
be live. We'll wait until we get you set
Okay.
up, and then we'll be sure to do
Okay.
that. But
Okay.
you're more than
Amazing.
yeah, you're more than happy to drop. Again, guys, we'll still be on live. I'll be just talking with you guys. Estelle, you're more than happy to leave the call. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm sending you all lots and lots and lots of love. Thank
Mhm.
you very much and have an absolutely amazing week. Go and
uh,
smash it, all of you.
have a good one.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye.